feel like your energy is just kind of like out of tune? You know that feeling?
Yeah.
Like something's off, but you can't really put your finger on it. Well, today's deep dive might actually hold the key. We're going to be exploring the world of vibrational therapy.
It's a fascinating approach to well-being, and it's really rooted in this simple idea. Everything in the universe is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies, and that includes us.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but I think we need to break that down a little.
hmm
What does vibrational frequency actually even mean in the context of, like, us, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, so it's about recognizing that our physical bodies, our thoughts, even our emotions, they all actually emit unique vibrations. Think of it like this. Just as a guitar string vibrates to create a specific sound, different aspects of like our being vibrate to create our overall energy.
Okay, so we're not just talking about, like, good vibes or bad vibes, like, in a casual sense. There's a
Yeah.
real, like, measurable frequency to this.
Exactly. And just like with music, when our frequencies are harmonious, we experience a sense of well-being. But when those frequencies are out of sync, that's when we start to feel that physical or emotional distress.
That makes sense. So how do those misaligned frequencies actually show up in our lives? How can we tell if we're out of tune?
Well, it can manifest in so many ways. So physically, you might experience chronic pain, low energy, or you might be getting sick more often. Emotionally, maybe it's anxiety, stress, or feeling stuck in these negative thought patterns. And some people even find that it impacts their mental clarity.
Interesting. So if I'm constantly getting tension headaches and feeling anxious, and I can't seem to focus on a task, that could be a sign that my vibrational energy is out of whack.
It's certainly possible. It's always important to rule out any underlying medical conditions, of course. But vibrational therapy offers this unique lens to view these experiences and explore potential solutions.
This is kind of reminding me about chakras, those energy centers in the body. Is that connected at all?
There's definitely overlap. Many vibrational therapy techniques actually address those energy centers specifically to promote balance and flow. But I think for today, let's just focus on the broader concept of frequency and how we can use different practices to shift our vibes.
Now we're talking. This is what I'm curious about. How do we actually do that?
Yeah.
How do we shift our vibes? What are some of the techniques used in vibrational therapy?
There are so many fascinating approaches, and what's great is that many of them are surprisingly accessible. Let's start with a couple that you've probably heard of, like sound healing and crystal healing.
Okay, those definitely sound like good vibes only territory to me, but I'm ready to go beyond the surface level. How do they actually work within this framework of vibrational frequency?
Of course. So, sound healing is all about using specific frequencies of sound to restore harmony within the body. Think Tibetan, singing bowls, binaural beats, even certain types of music. What's really interesting is that certain frequencies can actually stimulate our alpha brainwaves, which are associated with relaxation and calmness.
I've totally felt that. Certain music just like instantly shifts my mood. What about crystal healing? How do crystals play into all of this?
So crystals have their own unique vibrational frequencies. Think of each crystal kind of like a tiny tuning fork vibrating at its own specific rate. And crystal healing is about working with those energies to balance and amplify our own vibrations.
So it's not just about the aesthetics, they actually have like a tangible energetic impact.
Precisely. It's about finding the crystal whose energy resonates with your intention, the shift you're looking to create.
This is already blowing my mind, and I feel like we're just getting started. What are some other techniques used in vibrational therapy that people might not know about?
There's a technique called Tamiana that I find particularly interesting. It's less well known, but it's definitely worth exploring.
Ooh, I love a little mystery. Tell me more.
So Tamiana utilizes a powerful combination of crystals, specific geometric patterns, and symbols to shift energy.
Okay, I'm hooked. What's the deal with the geometry and symbols?
It's based on the idea that these sacred geometric shapes and symbols, they hold specific vibrations, and when arranged in a particular way, they can create this high vibrational field that facilitates healing and alignment.
So it's like creating this like energetic blueprint using crystals and sacred geometry to help shift our own energy field. That's pretty wild.
It is a really fascinating approach, and it speaks to this like interconnectedness of energy and intention in vibrational therapy. But even beyond these more like involved techniques, there are so many like simple but powerful practices we can incorporate into our everyday lives to tune our vibes.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Give me those everyday practices. What can we start doing like today to shift our energy?
Well, one of the most powerful tools is meditation. Meditation is a fantastic way to calm the mind, connect with your inner self, and become more aware of your own vibrational state. Even just like 10 minutes of meditation can make a huge difference in how I feel, throughout the day.
Yeah. I can definitely relate to that. I used to be pretty skeptical of meditation, to be honest.
Mhm.
But then I started incorporating it to my morning routine, and it's really kind of crazy how much more grounded and centered I just feel throughout the day.
It's incredible how such a simple practice can have such a profound impact. Another one I love is nature immersion. Spending time in nature, whether it's a walk in the park, a hike in the woods, just has this like incredible ability to recalibrate our energy.
It's like a reset button for the soul. I always feel so much lighter and more at ease after just spending time outdoors.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of positive affirmations, like the words we speak to ourselves, they carry vibrations. And by like consciously choosing to focus on positive, uplifting language, we can really shift our energy in a tangible way.
So instead of saying, ooh, I'm so stressed, I could try saying, I am capable of handling this and actually like feel a difference.
Exactly. It's about shifting that internal dialogue, changing the tune from one of stress and negativity to one of empowerment and possibility. And what's fascinating is this idea that our thoughts influence our energy. It's not just like new age thinking, it's actually something that's being explored in the realm of like quantum physics.
Oh, wow. Now we're getting into some really juicy territory. What's the connection between vibrational therapy and quantum physics?
Well, quantum physics is starting to really uncover this like interconnectedness of energy and consciousness. And it suggests that our thoughts and intentions, they aren't just happening in our heads, but they actually have the potential to influence our reality at a very fundamental level.
So we're talking about the power of our minds to actually shape our reality.
In essence, yes. Now, this isn't to say that we can like simply think our way into winning the lottery or anything like that. But it does suggest that our thoughts and beliefs have a very real impact on our experiences, our health, and yes, even our vibrational frequency.
It really is pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is. It challenges us to consider, the possibility that we're not just these passive receivers of energy, but that we're really active participants in shaping our own reality.
That's incredibly empowering. Okay, so for someone listening to all of this and thinking like, all right, I'm ready to explore vibrational therapy, where did they even begin? There's so many different techniques and practices. It can feel a bit overwhelming.
You're absolutely right. It can feel like a lot. I always recommend starting with an open mind and a sense of curiosity. Explore the practices that just resonate most with you. If you're drawn to sound, try like a sound bath or experiment with binaural beats at home.
And don't forget those everyday practices we talked about. Meditation, nature immersion, positive affirmations. Those are all fantastic starting points. It's about finding what feels good and incorporating it into your life in a way that feels authentic to you.
Exactly. And if you are looking for more personalized guidance, there are many like qualified practitioners out there who can provide support and recommendations. Just be sure to do your research and find someone you connect with and trust.
That's great advice. So as we wrap up our deep dive into vibrational therapy, what's the key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with today?
Tune in to your own energy. Pay attention to how you feel physically, emotionally, mentally, and then explore the practices that help you feel more aligned, more harmonious, more, vibrantly alive.
Beautifully said. Because ultimately, when our energy is flowing and our vibes are high, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities for healing, for growth, and for joyful living. And who couldn't use a little more of that? This has been an incredible exploration. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. Until next time, keep those vibes high